All right. Well, I don't have Dylan or Eric here with me because maybe some scheduling confusion with the everything going on and the schedule change coming up here. So I'm going to run solo here until we have maybe one of those guys popping in here. But if not, it's just going to be the Nick Kendall morning show for breakfast. So let's give it a second to breathe while we get Facebook in here. And yeah, good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday morning, our last Wednesday show. We are going to be changing from Monday Wednesdays to Mondays and Fridays starting next week. So that'll be fun to look forward to. Why are we doing that? Nick has a big boy job now after moving to Denver. So not that this isn't a big boy job, but going to be working on my obviously epidemiology science work at CU Anschutz. So that'll be a lot of fun. And want to say hello to everybody in the chat. Obviously, I'm Nick Kendall here. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. And we're going to talk Broncos Chiefs today and answer your guys' questions as well. Maybe a little bit shorter show today since I'm running solo. But that's fine. I do have Summit here who's hopefully going to behave in the background, but hopefully everybody in the chat behaving in the background as well. We got Michael Ronquillo coming in, says hit those thumbs up and subscribe to Mile High Huddle podcast on YouTube. Go Bo Broncos. Appreciate you. Hit those thumbs up and subscribe. We got it twice. Go Bo Broncos. Go Michael. Appreciate you. Proud Zenial says let's go Broncos. FTC, thank you guys both for being members, as well as our guy David Yunkin in the house saying, how's it an upset if Denver wins? Doesn't sound like Broncos fans to me when you title the podcast like this to me. David, I just went with the upset because that's what Vegas is saying. Broncos are currently a 4-point dog. So by betting standards, they are the underdog, and it would be an upset if Denver won. So that's actually one reason I titled it like that, because I wanted to talk about if it was disrespectful to the Broncos to have them be a 4-point home dog. You don't typically see that. A lot of times teams will lay 2.5, 3 points for the home field advantage. So by this, like a neutral field, Chiefs would be favored by 7, maybe Chiefs favored by 8 at home-ish, more than that. So I think actually college, the home field, whatever the lane points at home field is a little bit higher than the NFL, but I digress. Yeah, Denver is an underdog. They're 8-2. The Chiefs are 5-4, but Vegas is not buying the Broncos, and they're still very much buying the Chiefs. Broncos, I think, are 10th or 11th in Super Bowl odds, despite being NFL league best record, tied best record 8-2, with the Chiefs being the favorite for Super Bowl odds at 5-4. So yeah, pretty darn wild to see all of that come out. But yeah, I did want to get into it with that as well. And you guys are going to have to, since I'm going solo, I'm going to have to mute and cough myself because I'm still dealing with a cold here from getting it at the little guy at daycare. So excuse me, I got a cough. All righty. Doing okay. I got coffee. Thank God for that. Dave Glassman has Wednesday and Friday, the new schedule going forward. It's going to be Mondays and Fridays. I'm going to do Wednesdays. I'm going to be doing the Falcons with Scott. Scott didn't want to move his Falcons show an hour earlier. The other thing is we're going to be going an hour earlier on the Broncos show as well because I got to get my butt into the office. So if we are going to be going at 6:30 a.m. Mountain Time. So you guys got to be morning people like me. Maybe you're going to be joining me for some 14ers in the summer if I can get your guys' schedule up and at it an hour earlier. We got Stella coming in here. Says, morning, ladies and gents. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to message in the group chat that we have here about the Broncos game as well. See if Eric or Dylan will join me. We got Stella saying, does Uncle Scott do shows anymore? Is he just behind the scenes? He's behind the scenes for the Broncos, but he does Falcons shows still. And we go a little bit more overarching draft once the offseason starts as well, especially after free agency. So it'll be more Falcon slanted on his channel, but that's fine. That's great. We have good to see Michael again, saying proud with the salute, saying hello to everybody. Jake Levian saying, morning Broncos country. How y'all doing today? I'm feeling a little bit sad about the hints of the J.K. Dobbins news because I'm a skeptic, borderline pessimist at heart. I don't know if it's growing up in the Midwest and those cold Midwest winters kind of zap the life out of you or just, this disappointment too many times. But yeah, J.K. Dobbins sounding like he's going to be out there debating if putting him on an IR. I would probably imagine that they do. If it wasn't for the bye week, he probably would already be on the IR because of how the rules work with placing guys in the short-term IR in the bye week. But yeah, that's going to hurt a lot because one of my favorite stats to indicate your down-to-down efficiency in the NFL is success rate. And the Broncos are one of the worst success rate teams in the entire NFL. Luckily, they kind of salvage middle of the pack EPA per dropback, but they're better on running the ball and then throwing it. And then Dobbins is by far their most efficient down-to-down rusher. Unfortunately, Harvey is one of the least efficient running backs in the entire NFL. Luckily, he's found a role as a good pass catcher, but running the ball, he has been down-to-down, just let's call it as it is. He's been dreadful. Now, granted, he's still inexperienced in the league, playing in the Big 12, and the spread that you see at UCF, the tackling and the hash marks and just the space that you have is a lot different than the NFL. But he's been, I think, out of 45 running backs with at least 50 rushes this season, he has the 49th ranked success rate. And what is success rate? It's gaining half the yards to go for a first down on first and second down, or all of the yards on third and fourth down. That's considered a successful play by the metric. I think it's a pretty good metric to utilize just as far as, again, your down-to-down efficiency. Now, it doesn't capture explosiveness, like a play that, let's say it's first and 10 and you gain 6 yards. That's a binary yes, 1 for a successful play. Let's say it's first and 10 and you throw an 80-yard touchdown pass. That's equivalent to getting that 6 yards. It's a successful play. So it only captures the down-to-down yes or no binary outcome, but it does a good job of indicating your efficiency from a play-to-play perspective. And Broncos have been bad there offensively. I think they're the third worst passing success rate in the entire NFL, and Harvey's been bad rushing the football this season between the tackles, as indicated by the success rate. Harvey was 15th out of 45 running backs in success rate this season. So hopefully we'll figure something out. But that's a concerning stat for the Broncos. Do want to get in a few more stats here. We've got Brad. Good morning. Great to see you, Brad. Happy belated Veterans Day to you. Appreciate you. Thought about you yesterday after your very kind comment, and shout out to all of our service members if you didn't join us last night as well. Happy belated Veterans Day. Gatorade Gaming, good morning. Nick, Dylan, where's Dylan? Where's Dylan and Eric? I don't know. I think they got confused because of my schedule change. I texted them, yep, it's officially happening Mondays and Fridays starting next Monday. They probably thought it was today. So they get this Wednesday and Friday off. God bless them. I can go live by myself for a little bit. I wish I didn't have this gosh darn cold and sound even more nasally and nerdy than normal. But what can you do? We got Formula Salty Thunder saying, "What's up, Summit? Summit, what are you doing?" Okay, well, he's not joining me. He's not helping me out at all. Casey Nickel comes in. Casey, a new profile picture, or maybe it's just because it's different than what's on Twitter, but good to see you. Said this game feels odd. Denver's getting blown out, or it's Nick's return to form, and Sean opens up the tempo playbook. Honest to God, I mean, what I hope is that the Broncos just smoke them. But I think it would be hilarious if the Broncos continue to do what they have done this season, is drag the Chiefs into the mud and win just the ugliest, most confounding, not repeatable in theory, but repeatable game. Like, let's see, make them look like the Jets, just a really ugly football game. Now, granted, I'm messed up in the head because I've had to watch Iowa football for so long, and they have been the kings of winning ugly. Oh my God, how are they winning these games, football games? And the Broncos are kind of turning into that a little bit as well this season. So I don't know. Just a win is a win. You can get upset about frustrating games like the Titans game, the Jets game, the Raiders game as well, not good teams and playing down to your competition and making just so many unforced errors. That's frustrating. But if you play that same exact game script, it plays out exactly the same. Every single play, outcome, blah, 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 and you beat the Chiefs 10-7. I don't think there's excuses for beating good teams. And really, honestly, the NFL in general probably shouldn't be anyway, but we can evaluate the individual performances and unit performances while still having perspective that it's hard to win week to week in the NFL. Jake says, no Wednesday Bronco for breakfast. Nope. I keep on to do my Falcon stuff with Scott and draft stuff with Scott because I love working with Scott. And so we'll be going on Mondays and Fridays. So we're still going to have 2 shows. And also Wednesdays are typically one of the lesser news days anyway. So we should have more to talk about on the Friday game. So it's a lot of fun. Good to see everybody coming in here. Chiefs are 0-17 and still Vegas would bet on them. I've said it on here. I'm not really necessarily a horror fan per se, but Jeepers Creepers, that show with the guy eating the body parts and everything, the demon, whatever he is. The first one where they run him over in the car, and they run him over once, and he's like, do you think he's dead? And she backs him over like 6 more times. He's never dead. That's how I feel about the Chiefs and Mahomes. You have to, or what is it, Zombieland, the other one, double tap? You want to make sure they're freaking dead. Sever the head. Finish them for the Mortal Kombat fans at home. So, I mean, the Chiefs have been so good for so long. I mean, how many AFC Wests have they won in a row? I think it's 9, going for 10 this year. They played in like an ungodly amount of AFC championship games in a row as well. They've earned it. I mean, it's frustrating. I know that Bronco fans are very frustrated about the media and everybody piling on the Broncos for how, Bo Nix is playing, the offense is playing, and how they're phonies. And you see the Monday night game with the Eagles and the Packers, like, oh, should the Eagles and the Packers be drafting quarterbacks? Or Mahomes has a bad game 2 weeks ago. Oh, why aren't they jumping on him? Bo Nix has not been overall a great baseline level quarterback. He's probably closer to average than anything else, and he's probably closer to slightly below average than above average. If you're breaking it down into quarters, he's probably in the first quarter being the elite guys, second quarter being franchise guys, third quarters being like viable starters, fourth quarter being unplayable. He's probably upper of the third, bottom of the second, right there in the median. The stats bear it out, even though he's been erratic this season. I mean, and on for a rookie quarterback, that's fine. 1.5 years, that's fine. You don't have to lie about him and be hyperbolic either direction. God, the discussion drive me crazy with the extremes on that. But either way, Denver's got a chance at this one. I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm on a roll. Nobody's here to cut me off. Love Eric. I miss Scott's shiny forehead. Yeah, Scott, actually, I was very lucky to see Scott and his son, Sean, in Denver for some brunch on Sunday. He was out here checking out Air Force Academy. So a lot of fun. Yeah, Jake says, being a scientist, an Iowa fan, and a Broncos fan. Yeah, probably. Donkey Week has arrived. Good to see a tailgater. I will say, Chiefs fans, opposing fans are all welcome. I'm not here for the talking necessarily. If you want to talk like actual football, like academically, intelligently, that's fine. But if it's, so-and-so's mom's a you-know-what or just, BS, I am not here for it. We'll boot you for that. And that goes for Broncos fans as well. This is there's places for that level of degradation and knuckle-dragging fandom, and God bless them, but that is not here, except from the hosts. Of course, I'll drag my knuckles all I want. Corey Johnson says, Savion Jones, such a great athlete for his size. Coaching staff has turned every late red pass rusher into a monster. How long do we see until we see the same from Jones? Jones will be out there once he's not a liability against the run. You're probably a off-season program away from getting a little bit more strength and technique in that. What I will say is that you don't necessarily need him right now with the depth that you've had and the emergence of Owazarike as well, who's been a really good, for your last guy in defensive lineman, he's playing pretty good, and you still have a year and a half of cost control of him as well. So he's part of the rotation next season. Honestly, with how he's playing, you're probably, depending on the contract, being like, okay, you're kind of sliding, not a 1-for-1, don't get me wrong, but maybe sliding in and eating into some of Roach's snaps in 2026. But we will see with Savion Jones. He's really, really athletic, a good pass rusher. Right now, he's too much of a liability against the run, handling double teams, anchoring at the point of attack to be on the field. Yeah. Jacob says the referee has a 22% home win percentage. That's not good. That's actually pretty crazy. Hit me up on Twitter. Show me the source of that stat. Not that I'm doubting you, but I want to dig into that a little bit more. Chase Wellner says the Nick Show. So the title's never changed. It's always been the Nick Show. Welcome. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, it's actually the Summit Show. As long as he doesn't lick his manhood, he's welcome to hang out in the background here. David Schlosser Jr. coming in saying good morning at Broncos Country. Everybody leave a like. Yeah, leave a like. Drop a super chat. It'll be great to see. Adrian Hill reffing the game. Chiefs are 4-0 and he's reffing. You don't love to see that. You don't love to see that. Jerron Washington says the Chiefs think they're going to come into Denver and beat us easily. No, they won't. Our offense will be a lot better on Sunday. Jerron, I wish I could have the same faith as you. It's going to be harder for them to be worse. But right now, I started the show with all the stats there. The only thing the Broncos do well consistently on offense is hand the ball off to J.K. Dobbins. Everything else is volatile. Just you cannot depend on it. You cannot depend on Bo Nix in the drop back pass game right now for all 4 quarters. Can't depend on RJ Harvey. And again, it's piling on the offense right now. Penalties and special teams and lack of takeaways by the defense are also massive areas where this team could improve, of course, but they don't take as much of the pie chart of influence, if you will, as the quarterback, of course, because it's the freaking NFL, right? Tailgater calling for a 20-20 tie. That would be hilarious. Can we make it a 0-0 tie? Is there somebody will have to help me out here? There's the Beamer Virginia Tech meme where it's a 0-0 maybe, or maybe it's like 3-0 and his like arms are in the air. That would be hilarious for the Broncos as well. A lot of fun. Roy Osborne. Good morning, Nick. Have my Lion coffee with me, ready to talk some football. I need to take a sip. I've been just going at it. Appreciate you guys. I see Dylan texting me. He's going to be on Facebook chat. I'm not sure what's going on. Appreciate you guys. Let me do that. Corey H says the eyeball test with Bo, he doesn't look good. I know a lot of people, especially because it doesn't go against their wishes for the quarterback position, will really degrade some of the advanced statistics. But football is such a great game because it's a small sample size sport. There are so many interacting variables. It's not like baseball where like stats are really, really, really indicative of performance. But what you have to do in football is first off, you have to understand what the stats mean and how valuable they are and what they're actually indicating. And then match that to the film. Right now, Bo's eye test overall is frustrating. And again, it comes down to he's just a really volatile quarterback right now. The lows are really, really low, like one of the worst quarterbacks in football level low, but he has a bunch of highs as well. So it's like, God, we see you have the ability to do that. Why do you have to wait until the fourth quarter? What's going on with the mechanics, the fundamentals right now? I hate to be so boring and say that word so many times on these shows, but like the drop back, the footwork, the going through progressions, the not bailing on clean pockets, not getting to the check down too soon. It's there on tape. I bet Sean Payton, Bo Nix have forgotten more football than I'll ever learn. I'm not going to be here on the far left side, or I guess that side for you guys, the Dunning-Kruger curve. I understand that I know some, and oh my God, there's so much that I don't know, and we'll never know. But I think it's pretty easy to watch the tape and be like, oh, what is going on with just the basics of quarterback mechanics? Maybe he's hurt. I don't know. But yeah, the eye test right now says Bo has the ability to be top 12, top 10 quarterback, but right now the down-to-down stuff is just not good enough for the Broncos, which is frustrating. I think that leads to a lot of frustration, and it depends on your mindset and perspective. Oh, he's great sometimes. He can do that all the time. Why don't they just call the no huddle, Bo Nix, unleash offense? Probably no way to run an offense. And really, the quarterback's only as good as the down-to-down baseline overall. Still time, though. Still plenty of time. AJ comes in and says, when Bo's back has been against the wall, he's always played well. Going back to Auburn, hoping to show up Sunday. That would be good. I would love him to play like he did at Arrowhead last season. That would be unbelievable. Just the overall control of the game. Now, can the Broncos grind out drives with where their running back room is if J.K. Dobbins is out? I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's going to take a Herculean effort. Jay Brew comes in and says, let's go Broncos. M1ST4J says, Harvey's look good. He just doesn't have many yards because Dobbins gets more touches. I think the offense has seen their woes over this mini bye. I think they are going to look good. I hope so. Chiefs defense is middle of the pack. They love to run that cover zero blitz more than anybody in the NFL, but Bo Nix has actually been pretty good under pressure this season. He's been pretty good while blitzed. He has been bad. I just call it as it is. When your stats are overall average, and I can say that some are good, that probably means that some are bad to even it out, right? And he's been bad against zone and against 3 and 4 man pressures this season on the whole, but especially zone coverage, but bottom 10 quarterback in those. And that's not all. Again, every single stat in football, people point to EPA as not being good. Like, that's not a good stat. We won't use that, but it's like, it's a team stat. Touchdowns are a team stat too. So are passing touchdowns. It's freaking football. You do your best to isolate it. But every single stat in football is a system stat in the end. When you have it over a quarterback's play over like a 10-year sample and the variables are changing around them, then you can start to probably give it to the quarterback a little bit more. But other than that, mostly system stats. But yeah, hopefully they do figure it out. RJ Harvey's been good in the pass game, but he has not been a good runner this season. One of the highest stuff rates, tackle for loss rates in the NFL, despite good offensive line play. He's hit a few explosives, but there's been so many runs of 0 to negative yards to 2 yards, which not going to get it done. And with the Broncos already being so number one in the NFL in total punts, granted they've had more drives and as many games as anybody so far this season. They're second, I think, in punt rate per drive, which again, they're not turning the ball over. Denver isn't like a no turnover team. That'd be awesome if they were. They're kind of closer to like, I think the 6th to 14th range in turnovers per drive. But they're punting the ball way more than anybody. And they're also having some of the most 3-and-outs than anybody else as well in the NFL. I think only the Eagles have more 3-and-outs per drive. But yeah, Harvey, we'll see. I think the one thing you can say about Harvey, just because it's an unknown, is maybe he gets into a little bit more of a rhythm, getting more touches, and then you're starting to see a little bit more down-to-down efficiency. But has not found that yet as a drop-back passer. Chase comes in and says, I might have missed this. What's the update on JK? Is he going to miss a lot of time? Sounds like it's 2 to 6 weeks. I don't know how much you guys follow the NFL at large, but Kyler Murray missed a couple games and then ended up on the IR after already burning 2 games, not being on the IR with the mid-foot sprain. Kind of sounds like where we're at with Harvey, and it depends on the person to person, how fast they recover. You never know. So I'm expecting we will see him placed on the IR. That would have him missing 5 weeks, 4 games. But I wouldn't. Right now, I'm expecting him to miss at least 3. It's possible he only misses 2. I think it's possible he misses the rest of the regular season. I mean, these foot sprains are wild. We did have Chris Thomason, the Denver Gazette. I hope it's the Denver Gazette. It's either Denver Gazette or Denver Post. Chris, you're a great one. You're really good at the Broncos beat stuff. Him and Mike Kliss are the best on the beat, in my opinion, as far as the sources and breaking news for the Broncos. But he said Broncos are heavily considering placing Dobbins on the IR. Canelo comes in and says, if Bo continues to play like this, I hope they don't give him a second contract. If he plays like this, it's going to be hard to validate, or is that the right word? Justify giving him a second contract, but we still have a lot of time before we have to get to that. So we don't have to worry about that for a while. I mean, we still have 2.5 years of cost control before the 5th-year option being in place. And then you have 3.5 years if you include the 5th-year option. So no reason to rush it. This level of play baseline is probably not good enough, but there's so many pages that we're not even like close to yet. We're like through 1.5 chapters of the book, right? Or if you want to go every game as a chapter, there's still freaking 60 chapters to go. So plenty of time to see how the story fleshes itself out. Offense does need to score points more consistently. We agree there. Play calling and penalties. I don't know. I go back and watch the games on the All 22 multiple times now since I haven't started this other job yet. And I got a little time at home. But I don't know the exact play call, but I understand the concepts and I can decipher what the defense is being called. And it seems like a lot of times there are plays where Bo Nix isn't trusting what he's seeing. He's bailing on the pocket too soon, and he's just not ripping it. I don't know if he's hurt, sophomore slump, whatever you want to call it. I don't think the play calls are egregious. Also, there's a lot of good stats out there. Pass rate over expected. So what is that? Is if you call a runner a pass over the overall sample of every play from that down and distance in recorded football history. And if you're going against the grain or with the grain, it'll put you on either side. And Broncos right now are in middle of the pack in pass rate over expected. So they're not passing the ball like crazy amount more than you'd expect based on the situation of the football. I think the issue is more so you don't have an elite quarterback right now, and you are playing down and distance behind the sticks way too often because of penalties and the inconsistent success rate that we're seeing. So that's leading to plays that typically you see more pass, but for the Broncos, they should probably be leaning more towards the run than they are to protect their quarterback and just to make sure he's not passing the ball 40 times a game. That's a losing formula, I think, right now for the Broncos. But it's interesting. Formula say my fantasy team's falling apart. I am first place in both my leagues, and I am the number one scorer in one of my leagues and the second highest scorer in the other. I have Josh Jacobs and JSN in both my leagues, and they've been great. I also went against Jonathan Taylor the week prior, so that was great as well. We got Dylan maybe hopping in here as well, hanging out with us. But first, we got M1ST. There's Dylan. Good to see you. I'm going to take full blame. This is Buck Stops here. I'll be Sean Payton here and say that I did not communicate the best of what the plans were going forward with our time and schedule change. So we're here Wednesday. We won't be here Friday until next week, where we're going live at 6:30 a.m. Dylan, welcome to the 5:30 Pacific time grind. God bless you. But thank you to M1ST4J gifting the 5 memberships here. God bless you, man. That helps so much. And Dylan, great to see you. Thank you. I'm going to take a swig of coffee while you say hello to the chat for this last 20, 30 minutes. And I wish I had some Kleenex next to me. I am just snotty as can be, more than my soul normally is.
Yeah, no worries, man. Happy to be here and give you a little bit of a break. It looks like the chat's popping today and whatnot. But, man, yeah, I shot up out of bed. I saw your text and I was like, oh, no. So I hopped up, threw a shirt on. Sorry for the background, Chad. We'll make up for that next time. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup. This is the measuring stick game for sure with the Broncos. So is the offense going to come alive minus J.K. Dobbins? We'll see.
I'm going to say this is not a measuring stick game for the Broncos. Just to push back immediately. Dylan, welcome in. Screw you. I'm going to be contrarian. No, Denver's an underdog, and they're missing Alex Singleton. They're going to be missing their best player in Patrick Surtain, most valuable player in Patrick Surtain. The Chiefs need this game more than the Broncos need this game. They're coming off a bye. Andy Reid is something like it's freaking. When the schedule was released, I was immediately pissed because, like, of course, they give the Chiefs the bye week before playing on Denver, and which is like the most important game for the Broncos on the season to have. Andy Reid is something like 24-4 as a head coach. Coming off the bye week. Now, granted, Denver has the mini bye, but like that's freaking ridiculous to have them be that good coming off the bye. Luckily, I guess for the Broncos, even if the Broncos lose, hopefully they beat up the Chiefs pretty bad, and then the Chiefs are playing the Colts, who have a bye week this upcoming week. So advantage Colts. Maybe that's unfortunate as well if it's coming down to 1 seed, 2 seed, and everything for the Broncos. So maybe a double whammy, but I don't really. I mean, I'd rather get the 1 seed obviously than the Colts, but even more than that, I'd rather guarantee the Broncos get the AFC West. So I guess beat the absolute brakes off of them. Indy. We got Coach Chris coming in, $20 super chat. God bless you, Coach Chris. Great to see you. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the vertical format as well. On the other side, kind of a new thing going on here with your people listening and watching on YouTube. Couldn't figure it out last night without Scott's help, but I figured it out today. So he says, traveling right now. Good morning, Broncos family. Just purchased 4 front row tickets to the Jags game. Excited. Yeah, that might be the Broncos' most winnable game the rest of the season. I don't know. Like the Commanders and the Raiders are worse, but it's much harder to play at Denver. So that's awesome. Good for you guys. I'm bummed to see Travis Hunter won't be playing with going on the IR with the LCL surgery and injury, but really awesome to see that, Coach Chris. Maybe I'll end up back grabbing some tickets as well. We'll see.
Yeah, man, that should be an interesting game, especially sans Brian Thomas Jr. If he's back by then, we'll see. And then Travis Hunter, man, that sucks. But the Broncos will end up playing Jacoby Myers this year, I guess. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Parker Washington's been pretty good for the Jags.
Yeah.
He looks good in my opinion going into the game. I think we'll see a dominant team. It's just a gut feeling. I'm sorry, M1ST4J. I tend to be critical. I want, maybe it's pushback because of what's facing me in my phone is the glazing and overlooking and excuses for players and things where I'm like always striving for perfection and improvement. I think it's the team building mind here where I'm hypercritical. So like thinking towards the draft, like what are the areas of the roster that need to be improved upon? So I'm looking for the weaknesses and areas to get better. But Denver is doing a lot of things well right now. They obviously the best sack differential, one of the best sack differentials in NFL history so far. And that's credit to the offensive line. That's credit to Bo Nix. That's credit to the defensive line. That's credit to the coverage. That's credit to the coaching staff. Everything in football is interconnected. That's why it's the best game. But they're doing that really well. And of course, shout out to the coverage guys as well. Now, granted, you've played the Raiders without Jacoby Myers, and you played the Texans with Davis Mills coming in. Granted, Davis Mills looked pretty good against the Jags, but in the fourth quarter there. But yeah, you got to give him some credit. And the Broncos right now, I did a show on Saturday night, Dylan, this week with Mike, the Mic'd Up show, and they said a last minute thing. And while the Broncos, we talk about the penalties, special teams, quarterback play is an issue, tight end wide receiver rooms, probably bottom 10 in the NFL. There's no team in the freaking league that's better on both sides of the trenches than the Denver Broncos. And that, when you're winning on the trenches on both sides of the ball, week in and week out, you're going to win more games than you don't. So shout out to them. Shout out to $50 super chat here as well. There's the positive for you guys. And I'm a trench guy at heart, first and foremost. So that warms my heart a lot, seeing Denver do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with just how important that is. We saw the Eagles Super Bowl win, both sides of the ball, very dominant offense, defensive line. And while the Broncos offensive line has been banged up, they've still done a pretty solid job of keeping Bo Nix upright. The last game we got a little more pressure than he's used to seeing, but still gutted that one out. As for RJ Harvey, it's hard to have confidence when he's been a better receiver than running back to this point. Obviously he's going to get more opportunities this week, and unfortunately we'll probably see more Tyler Bidet as well. We'll see if he can make anything of his touches. But yeah, this could be tough for the run game. We'll see. See what happens.
And I guess the stream froze for YouTube folks there for a second, but we're back. So you missed me glazing this team potentially, not being negative. So hopefully, glad to see it's back. And that was a close shave for us, Dylan, but we do really like a close shave.
Close shave, that's right. If you're still figuring out gifts, House of Atlas is a no-brainer. Perfect for your brother, your roommate, or even when you ask someone what they want and you don't feel like thinking. Their grooming kits make it simple to clean up, and they actually look as good as the counter and feel in your hand. The razor's weighted handle and precision trim edge make it effortless to get smooth, clean shave every time, something most razors just don't do. And the best part, you can grab them at Target stores nationwide or online at target.com, so you don't have to overthink it.
That's right, guys. Atlas is redefining men's grooming with premium tools and products designed to look good, feel good, and actually perform. I love the razors because it feels solid in your hand. It's not flimsy like disposable razors, and the precision trim edge makes dealing with under the nose, sideburns, and edges simple and precise. I'll admit it on here, guys. The brow sometimes does like to grow a little bit close together, so that precision edge is good because you got to keep those guys clean. And I'm not here to wax. I mean, I'm okay with men's grooming, but House of Atlas makes it even better. So beyond the shave, also they have the shaving cream and aftershave that elevate the routine with their refreshing and subtle signature scent, making grooming feel more like self-care than a chore.
So don't stress over last-minute gifts or settle for shaving products that don't deliver. This holiday season, give yourself or someone on your list the upgrade they deserve with House of Atlas. Grab it at Target stores nationwide or online at target.com.
We need more energy, Dylan. Dylan just woke up, so it's okay. Appreciate Tailgater. See, this is my second cup of coffee. I've been up for a bit already. When you have a kid screaming at you, throwing eggs across the floor that you just made for him, you get a little bit more adrenaline going. We got Jermaine in the house. Good morning, guys. Go Broncos. Yeah, the big key for me in this one, Dylan, obviously, I hate to do this because it's just so freaking basic, but can the Broncos win a turnover battle +2? For once, I know they finally had a takeaway, but I think they ended up losing the takeaway battle versus the Raiders -1. It was either even or -1. I did put out the I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, but every once in a while I'll break out the turnover wizard, saying I summon the turnover, and I'm telling you, there's something unbelievable about it because it worked. That I posted it, and that very next play was the DeAndre Tillman interception. So I don't break it out every drive. It has to be okay, I'm feeling it right now. I wish I'd have done it for the punt because I was with a few friends, the blocked punt, because I was with a few friends, Dylan. I saw the lineup, and I'm like, to my friend Caitlin who was sitting next to me, they're going to block this punt. And they did. So she'd have to verify for that one for you guys. But yeah, it's going to be I'd love to see the Broncos take the ball away. The Chiefs do not have a very good run game. They're also not very good at stopping the run, but the Broncos aren't really good running down to down without Dobbins on the field. So we'll see what happens. The key for me in this one, and Tailgater, I mean, you've been respectful in this chat. You might turn on me here for this one, but the Broncos need to beat the absolute tar out of Patrick Mahomes. And I know like everybody's doubting the Broncos. I'm doubting the Broncos. You can call me a hater as well. People calling them dirty. People in the NFL already really don't like Sean Payton because he's kind of a you-know-what as well to a lot of people. It rubs them the wrong way. He's our a-hole, though, so we love him in the end. But I think Denver needs to embrace the villain role here. Now, I'm not saying like really, really late, egregious Captain Insano poking the eyes out kind of stuff here. Like we don't need a Aqib Talib on the road in Indianapolis against Dwayne Allen. Was that the name of the tight end that he gouged his eye? I don't remember. From Clemson. I remember that. Same draft as Colby Fleener. But we do need Denver to play to the echo of the whistle. And if Patrick Mahomes is doing that BS where he's like using the sideline to like, draw defenders and get like 3 extra more yards, tackle through him. 15-yard penalty, fine. Let's get a GoFundMe going for this right now. I think that this is a game where Denver's done a lot this season where they've bloodied and battered quarterbacks. This needs to be no different. You need to play unchained, uninhibited, and there's obviously a fine line between playing so dirty that you're costing your team the game, but the Chiefs need to be fearful of this one. Patrick Mahomes needs to be fearful of escaping the pocket and extending plays. So I'm looking for them to punish the Chiefs offense. I want Mahomes to feel it the next day. I'm not cheering for season-ending injury or anything like that. Like, don't get me wrong, but I want them to beat the absolute hell out of him in this game.
And that's how you beat a Mahomes or any quarterback for that matter. You have to beat them. You got to batter them within the means of, like you mentioned, the rules there. But you're totally right. I mean, Mahomes does use that sideline kind of as a safety blanket, if you will. And at some point, someone's got to make him not want to do that anymore or make him think twice about it. And same with, Kelsey, we saw him take a pretty big rib shot against, I can't remember. Was that Jackson? That wasn't Jacksonville. But regardless, it was a pretty recent game and he felt it. He went out for a couple of plays. Obviously, you don't want to injure players, but you do want to make them have that doubt in their mind, have that fear in their mind that many teams have when they play the Kansas City Chiefs, that fear, that unsteadiness. And I think the Broncos could do that with this defense, especially a Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga coming on the blitz. We've seen it plenty of times. Not having Patrick Surtain kind of hurts, and you want to have more help on the back end. But if you need to send someone extra from time to time and manifest those turnovers like you do with the Wizard there, the vibes based turnovers, if you will, that's just going to be what you have to do. And it's going to be a tough game regardless. Whether I pick the Broncos to win or not in the game day picks, I'm still going to be rooting for them to win because I think there's a good chance.
Yeah, and what's really scary about the pressure with Mahomes is that he is far and away the best quarterback under pressure in the entire NFL this season. So I'm using Sumer Sports, I believe it's pronounced. They have a pretty good dashboard. I wish they had a few more data points. And I'm not paying for True Media SIS with the $200 a month subscription or whatever the hell it is that only like ESPN, The Athletic, and The Ringer have access to, and teams as well. But Sumer Sports, categorizing quarterbacks, minimum 50 dropbacks when pressured. The top quarterbacks in the NFL under pressure are Mahomes, Darnold, May, Daniel Jones, and Jaden Daniels with at least 50 dropbacks. Darnold and Mahomes are the only two with positive EPA per dropback, and Mahomes is almost Darnold's EPA when pressured per dropback is 0.03. Mahomes is 0.22. Like, that's significantly higher than anybody else. 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And he is, when under pressure, he is chucking it so far this season. The highest average depth of target at 15.7 yards. 15.71 yards when pressured. So you have to keep him corralled when pressured. You have to also finish the play. I know that like pressures are more valuable as far as predictive ability for defensive lines, but Denver's been an outlier this season as far as converting pressures into sacks. You need that outlier to continue. When you get hands on him, when you get pressure on him, you need to be taking him down. One thing as far as like regression also I want to point out for this game, because I'm all about the statistical regression and like what is likely to, what has happened if it's a vast outlier compared to the average is probably going to change. I think the Chiefs have put the ball on the ground 6 times this season, 7 times this season. They've recovered every single one, which is that's a 50-50 proposition. Kind of like your one-score games where the Chiefs have the worst luck on that one this season. The Broncos have pretty good luck on that one. The Chiefs' fumble luck this season has been unsustainable. Let's put it that way. So hit Mahomes, pop the ball out, and let's get on top of the football. I'm hoping the takeaways start to regress positively for the Broncos, but fumble's one that it should be 50-50 going forward. So hopefully that's one that we have a little bit of positive bounce for the Broncos this one.
Yeah, and the Broncos have the ability to do it, especially with how explosive Nick Bonito is off the edge. And I know they're going to try and neutralize this pass rush, trying to get the ball out quick, maybe run the ball. But Nick Bonito and Cooper, they're going to get theirs, especially the interior of the defensive line as well. It's just a matter of if they can get that ball out and get it away from Mahomes. Like you mentioned, they just the ball literally seems to bounce their way. So got to create those turnovers. That's one thing that this defense has not done super well this season beyond future tight end DeAndre Tillman. Will hopefully he can get exact running back, tight end. Hey, offensive weapon maybe.
There you go.
But yeah, maybe he gets another interception. Someone's got to step up in that department though and get a turnover, because that's where this defense is kind of hurting, and it gives a little extra help to an offense that sputters quite a bit.
Yeah, incredible. Hopefully that's something that we see here. Eric's giving me a hard time in the chat. He's awake. He's saying I'm stupid for not having it Friday this week. Well, Eric, now we get Friday off, so that's good. Whose birthday is it? Gabe says happy birthday. I must have missed it in the chat. Whoever's birthday it is, happy birthday. Shout out to you, November 12th.
Oh, it's Tailgater here.
Oh, never mind. Screw you, Tailgate. Nah, you've been respectful. So I'm just giving you a hard time. But, happy birthday. Don't drink and drive. I don't know how old you are, but be safe and have a good time. So, Dylan, this is our last show before the game. I'm not going to behold you to have this be the exact score that you put in your prediction outcome, but I do want to get a score for you. Denver is 4-point dogs. I saw the look and the sigh and the eye darting here, so I think that's a tell for this one. I think you're going to piss off the chat, but what are you thinking?
I do think the Broncos will score a little more than 10 points in this game, fortunately. But I do have currently, and this might change by the time we put our picks out, but I do have the Chiefs besting the Broncos 27-20. I just feel, despite the record, the Chiefs are a more well put together team, well coached team as well, especially like you just can't lead the league in penalties. I believe 83 for the Broncos. That's absolutely just abhorrent. And then have your offense sputter like it is. It's hard to have two phases be so bad and win football games. And obviously that hasn't been the case. Broncos are 8-2, but I think something's got to give. And honestly, I think more people are going to start paying attention to the Broncos deficiencies when they lose. Maybe this is the kick in the ass they need, but we'll see. So for now, 27-20 Chiefs over the Broncos.
I think it's going to be more low scoring than that. Personally, I do have the Chiefs winning this one. I think I got 20-16 for the Chiefs winning, leaning into that line as well. I think that it's just hard to trust Bo Nix and the Broncos offense right now without J.K. Dobbins. It'll take special teams and everything. Now, granted, he had the mini bye week, but it's the injuries on the Broncos side of the ball. They're one constant contributor on the offensive side of the ball, not having Patrick Surtain. So that kind of changes what you can do in terms of rush and coverage on the defensive side of the ball. And then the NFL gifting the Chiefs the bye week before going to play at Denver. It's just too many factors that are saying that the Chiefs end up winning this one. But that said, as we've seen this season, the Chiefs have been a erratic team on the whole. I mean, with what we saw them do against the Bills, Bills have also been extremely erratic, but that was a terrible game from them on the road against Jacksonville as well. Denver has been in the game itself inconsistent, but consistent week to week. So we don't know exactly what Chiefs team we will get. I think, though, unfortunately, with the bye week that they got, I have a hard time picking Denver to win this one without Dobbins. This is probably the most important game of Bo Nix's career so far, which is unfair because he's playing like he has pressure beyond what's actually there for him right now. So Hopefully he see him rise to the occasion with the pressure, kind of like we've seen in the fourth quarter. But he needs to play calmer and run the offense. Hit the open guy. Get through your reads. It's a big one. Without Dobbins in this Chiefs game, I don't think that if Denver loses this game, they necessarily lose the AFC West. But if they win this game, I think they win the AFC West. So it's all there in front of them. We'll see what happens. Shout out to the chat for coming in, hanging out today. Shout out to Dylan for last minute. Appreciate everyone. Super chats and all of that. M1ST4J, Coach Chris, you guys are killing it. Shout out to House of Atlas as well. Dylan, thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Follow us on Twitter, Dylan Von Arcs MHH, and I'm at Nick Kennel MHH. Also at Mile High Huddle, Facebook.com/Mile High Huddle and Facebook.com/Mile High Huddle Pod. And as the ticker says there underneath, please subscribe, like, and share over on YouTube. Become a member, all that fun stuff. Like I said, this is the last Wednesday show that we'll be having because we'll be shifting to 6:30 a.m. start on Mondays and Fridays. So we'll see what happens. Dylan, thanks a lot for joining. Thanks to the chat for being great. Have a great rest of your day. Kindness and compassion. Go Broncos.